Hello, this is a video for Donovan Jason Mitchiner. Want to break down our DNA that we share together and don't share together. This is a test that I did, a DNA test on October 6, 2006, and it has this person, Donovan Jason Mitchiner, broken down to haplogroup M343. R1b. So I looked up what is that haplogroup, and this is RM343 R1b, and it says that this is known as the most frequently occurring chromosome in the haplogroup in all of Western Europe. So everybody, every male in Western Europe, we all share that haplogroup. And when I looked up on 23andMe, I was able to do all of my haplogroups. And what I was shocked also is I did Family Tree Finder, and it did familytree.com. And I was shocked to see my biological father did a test right here. He did this test, and his haplogroup is RM269. And he has a relationship as parent. After that, it goes like first cousin and so forth. I uploaded my autosmall DNA that covers like my maternal side for Clan Galbraith to see exactly how far they could go back. And the maternal DNA goes back really far, and my paper trail, but it doesn't go back as far as the Y chromosome in your paternal side. So again, when I did the National Geographic test on you, it came up M343. So National Geographic said you are M343, and that you have in parts of Spain and Ireland that exceeds over 90%. So I'm not Spanish, and I have very, very, very little Irish in me. Your mother, both of her parents are from Ireland, so that would be all of the Spanish. All of the Irish. The Spanish is just that she banged a Spanish dude, and you're not my son. So again, this is my biological father, Thomas Mitchiner, and that's his haplogroup, RM269. So I started to research RM269 because when I uploaded my maternal side's DNA to Clan Galbraith, they told me that on the maternal side, I'm not good enough. They only care about the paternal side. The paternal side are the ones that get the titles and lands and all the great stuff. It has to be on your paternal side. I didn't know that. I was just happy finding out who I am over the pandemic. No idea. So I did all these like DNA tests, and I see, obviously to my surprise, my biological father did that as well. And he has this RM269 haplogroup. So when I looked up all of my paternal sides, I was on Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and Family Tree DNA. And I couldn't believe all of the Stuart that were coming up, or royalty. They were coming up in the Lennox, in Stirlingshire, London, all over the place. And that made me pretty interested why I have so many royal Stuarts coming up in my DNA. And when I looked up, again, this RM269 right here, the haplogroup from my biological father, from the paternal side, and that's the side that Scotland, that's all they care about is your paternal side. So when I looked that up, this haplogroup 269, it came up this Royal Stuart. And where it talks about right here, you have to have this RM269 just to start with. That's your starting point. That doesn't mean you're royalty at all. That's just if you don't have that, you can't even get started to see if you are Stuart Royal. So again, on my biological father that did the test, this test came up with the RM269, And I went to my 23andMe, the haplogroup that they broke down right here. And this is where you and I share the DNA, the haplogroup M343. Again, that comes up for everybody in Europe, in Western Europe. All males have that RM343. And National Geographic said that you are all Irish and Spanish. So when I looked up my haplogroup from my biological father, the paternal side, again, what came up is that have the very beginning of RM269. And then after that, after you have RM269, you must have, to be Royal Stewart, you have to have L744 or L745 or L746. And when I looked up, again, my haplogroup, this is where you and I split. And then my biological father goes to this RM269. And when I kept going further down the tree, all the way down of my DNA, my paternal side of DNA, is that mine goes to all the way down to RL744. So what that is the RL, you see that? 744. You have to have that to be Royal Stewart. If you do not have that in your DNA, you are not royalty. You could just be a regular like Stewart with the last name. And you're probably wondering why my last name is Mitchiner and it's not Stewart, which it should be. Is that a lot of people took middle names from somebody that they liked, or they took last names as well to show like honor or respect or whatever the case may be that could be adopted. Or in your case, you probably dropped the last name Mitchiner and you probably took on your fake father that you live with your mother. So it doesn't matter whatever your last name is, the proof is always DNA don't lie. So when I was looking at, again, my DNA from my biological father starts at the RM269, and then it goes all the way down to this RL744, confirming I'm absolutely Stewart royalty. And why it kept coming up when I was researching my paternal line not too long ago, and I was shocked. I was in the desert wearing my Galbraith kilt on my maternal side, and because everybody was mean to me and telling me I'm not good enough because all of my Scottish is mostly from my maternal side, then I started to really look into my paternal side and the Scottish connection with London, with Stirlingshire, with Edinburgh, with all of these areas that are very important areas in England and Scotland's history. But the very exciting part for me, and probably not for you, is that when I go to my DNA, royalty is right there. RL744 and coming from the very beginning marker. But my DNA keeps going. And I didn't know what any of this stuff means until I looked it up and did my research. But right there, RL744, it breaks it down even more to RS781. And if you're wondering what RS781, this is to exactly this person is S781. And that's Stewart, only 75 members. Out of 2 million members are on Family Tree DNA, and only 75 come up that high. To be royalty, it was like 0.01%. Do you have a chance to make it? To make it a 75 out of 2 million, the chances are very small. And then to join this group, you have to absolutely submit all of your DNA to them that you take to this test, the Family Tree DNA test, which I'm going to buy in the holidays when it goes on sale. It's a big test, but I already have all of my DNA right here from the 23andMe, and it breaks me all the way down to the RL744, RS781. So what that means is that I am absolutely a descendant of Sir John Stewart of Bunkill, and they took his body and his brother's body, James Stewart, and they extracted the DNA from both of them. So they know 100% anybody that has this DNA is absolutely a descendant of Sir John Stewart of Bunkill. And they've done, Scotland has done all these genetic tests that I want to share with you right here, is they took three people right here that all came up positive for Stewart DNA, Royal Stewart DNA, and tested them further for the two brothers, Sir James Stewart and Sir John Stewart, that I am. And they took these three tests. It was a Fred Stewart, Earl Castle Stewart, and a Paul Thompson. And that's good also to see that this person, Paul Thompson, had a different last name, just like I do with Mitchiner, which throughout, history, again, people change their last names, just like you might have by dropping my last name. So this is a test that they did at the Genetic Genealogy Bannockburn Project in Scotland. And this breaks down, this is a father, is Alexander Stewart, the fourth High Stewart of Scotland. And then breaking down the royal DNA is that if you have the 781 marker for this right here, for Sir John Stewart, you have to have that. And that is exactly where I'm at. And my DNA goes all the way 100% to Sir John Stewart that fought in, died at Falkirk. He fought at Stirling Bridge with William Wallace, Scottish warrior. And that's something else I'll go into with you. But yeah, this is very exciting for me. It changes everything. All the shade and everything people are throwing on me. Just because my Galbraith came from my maternal side, I'm going to drop another clip after I do the big test. And then I can do everything like they can see everything and submit it. Because like family tree DNA has a big test that can do like a lot more stuff. And then this is a breakdown also that's pretty cool, is that they took all of the Stuarts and Stuarts that are alive right now, Scotland around the world. Only 17,500 of them came up as a royal descendant. And out of that 17,500, with the S781 DNA, only 20% of those are descended from Sir John Stewart of Bunkill. So that's what I have, again, started from my biological father doing the test. No idea that he did it, but that's where I was able to start looking up everything. And again, my DNA is RS781, right to royalty to Sir John Stewart. So that's my DNA, and what I have from you from National Geographic is that you're over 90% Irish from your mother and Spanish. She banged a Spanish dude. Otherwise, then you'd be my kid, and then if you do a DNA, you would come up here, just as mine says, this is my parent, after that first cousin, so on and so forth. So you would come up as parent-child, and you'd be right there with me and my biological father. But since it doesn't look like you're from me, it looks like you're from your mom, and a Spanish dude, is that your mother will owe me $52,833 in child support that I shouldn't even had to pay. She agreed to waive child support if I agreed for her to move to Maryland with you, which I did. I wanted her to move on with her life. I never loved your mother, ever. It was just a friendship. We were involved in, we had threesomes, foursomes, with just a lot of fun. I had fun with anybody I wanted, whenever I wanted. It was a friendship. And when we got divorced, I thought we were going to keep it like that friendship. And she just turned her back as soon as she got to Maryland. And I'm going to break down all of that in another clip for you. But anyway, my DNA, it's super exciting, unreal, royalty. Stewart is wild. Blows my mind, changes everything when I go to Scotland. Cheers.